Hello there and welcome to my kitchen. I'm today going to make some stock. I'm going to use some nice bones that I've roasted off and some vegetables, and I'm going to do it in my Instant Pot. Now I really like this because I think it makes really good gravy. I think it's a really good base for sauces. I freeze it, and it's always nice to have on hand, and it's really good for you, so why not give it a go. It's very simple. Okay, so I've got my pot here for my Instant Pot, and into the bottom of that you just need to roughly chop these vegetables. There's no need to peel the onions or anything. It's just very easy. All of the bits add flavour. So I'm going to put the vegetables in the bottom, then I'm going to put the bones on top. That will stop the bones from just like sticking to the bottom. So I've got a couple of sticks of celery which I've just chopped. I've got 2 onions again which I've just roughly chopped. I've got a whole leek, a whole head of garlic, so I've just crushed that up. I'll show you what this looks like in a minute. And then some carrots. So they have formed a nice base in the bottom. So I'll get that out of the way, and then I'll bring that in, and then you can have a look and see what that's like in the bottom. Okay? Now, next, I'm going to bring over my roasted bones. Okay, so I've got just some lamb bones here. I'm hoping, yeah, I can just break them down a little bit. I've got some chicken wings, and I've got a marrow bone here. Just get that in. Put these chicken wings in. You don't have to roast the bones off beforehand, but all this and all this in the pan here just gives it amazing amounts of flavour. Right, so I'll just lift that up and show you that. So the bones now have gone on the top. Now I want this juice here that is in the pan. So I've got some nice hot water here, which I'm just going to pop in. All this will add flavour to my stock. And I'm just going to deglaze that a bit. Right, let's just get that in, and then I'm going to put some more in and keep going. See, now this is the trickiest part, or the hardest part. Chicken wings are absolutely brilliant for stock. They just have loads and loads of flavour in them. Right. Okay, so I've sort of got as much as I can out of there, so that can go to one side. And right, now for my herbs. So I've got some fresh parsley, just a handful, just pop that in. I've got some thyme from my garden. I've got some rosemary, don't need a massive amount. And I've got a couple of bay leaves here, which I've just sort of crushed to help release the flavour. So I'm going to get those in. I've got some peppercorns, just a small pinch of peppercorns, and I'm going to have a nice big pinch of salt. Then I just need about a tablespoon of cider vinegar. You could use lemon juice, but this will just help to break down some of the structures in the bones to help release as much goodness as possible. And then I've just got some filtered water. You could use it from the tap. In fact, I'm going to have to top it up with water from the tap because I just want to get plenty in there. Now I'm going to poke those herbs down so that they're in the liquid. And I'm just going to get a tiny bit more water in there. I'll show you what it'll look like. Right, so there you go. It's not quite covered to the top, but I can tell you how much is in there. There's about 3 litres in there. It's not actually 3 litres of actual water, but I've filled it up to the 3 litre mark. If you can see that in the side, there's some measures in the side there. And that's where it's come up to. Okay, so if you can see that, I'm now going to put that in my Instant Pot. So let's get the lid on. Okay, I'm making sure that my seal is tight at the back, so that way you vent and that way it's sealed, so you get the pressure. And then I am just going to do it on manual, and I want it for 45 minutes. Now I might have to do this twice, depending on what the stock looks like when it comes out. And then it will all be strained and I'll skim the fat off the top. But this is now on, that started, and it's going to come up to pressure, and then it's going to pressure cook that for 45 minutes, and then I'm going to see how it is and maybe put it on for a little bit longer if I want to. So I'll see you back here when this is done. Right, so as you can see on the front here, the where it's got the temperature, that is now starting to count down. So it started at 45, so that tells me that it's up to the right pressure. And you can also see on the top here that this little button has popped out, which means that the pressure has come up to the right heat, and inside there it is cooking away. So that will gradually come down to 0, and then it will beep and tell me that it's ready to check. Okay, so we're down to 1 minute, and once that has counted down, it will start beeping, and then we're ready to vent the Instant Pot. Here it goes. So I absolutely love this. I use it, it makes fantastic rice and grains like bulgur wheat or quinoa. It's really good for porridge, it's great for stocks, it's good for chili, it's good for soup. It's really, really versatile. So if you've not seen one before, not had any, had a chance to use one, then I would highly recommend it. Things like stocks, it just, you could do it in the slow cooker. This actually does do slow cooking as well. But you'd be kind of leaving it there for sort of 12, 18 hours, to really get the most out of the bones. So this is just a nice way of doing it. Right, so I'm going to vent this now. So I'm not sure whether you can, if I move this over so that you can see. Okay, so up the top here, there is a little function. If I bring this over, you can see, hopefully, on the top here, there's one that says sealing and then venting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the camera out of the way, because otherwise it's going to be very hot, and then I'm just going to let that off. You can see there's quite a lot of pressure that's built up in there. And in a minute, that little button that I showed you had popped up will go down, and I'll know then that I should be able to take the lid off. So the way I test if it's ready or not is just by tasting it. If it tastes like it's got a good depth of flavour, then I will drain it out and put it through the sieve. But if I feel that it's still a bit sort of bland, then I'll put it on and steam it for a little bit longer. I'll give it a stir and then steam it again. There we go. Right, so the little button has popped down and I can open that up. Okay, let's just put that down. And the colour's looking good, I have to say. Let me just show you that. So you can see there, nice colour to it. Okay, I'm going to give this a taste. Oh. Right, I'm going to add some more salt to it. I'm going to put it on for another 30 minutes. Just because I don't feel like I've got all the flavour out of it yet. So let's just give it a good stir. And then I should put the lid back on. And then I'm going to go, oh no, let's turn it off. How do I, that's it. And I'm going to go manual, 30 minutes, that's absolutely fine. Just put the seal back on and I shall leave that there for another 30 minutes with a little bit more salt in it to try and get that little bit extra flavour out of it. Okay, so we'll keep going. Right, welcome back. So that's had another 30 minutes and I've given it a little taste and it's much nicer. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to just try and fish out some of these bones. As you can see, they just fall apart, and what I'm going to do with these chicken wings is I'm going to just let them cool down and then I can take the chicken off for the dog. So waste not, want not. I'm just going to take out some of the bigger ones just so that when I put it into the sieve, you don't get big massive bones in there. You can see how they've broken down nicely. I can feel the marrow bone at the bottom, there it is. Let's just get that out. Okay, it's going to be hot. Bring the bowl over, just got a sieve here and I'm just going to tip it in. Oh, that's not a good start, is it? There we go, like that. Right, move that out of the way. I did manage to drop some in, so I'll have to do a second drain on it. Just going to press it down to try and get as much liquid as I can. Right, so I've double strained my stock because I managed to get a little bit in, and I'm just letting that drip through just to get any more liquid out of it where possible. And what I'm going to do now with this is If you can see, if I lift this up, there's quite a thick layer, have a look at that, of fat on the top. And I don't really want that, so I'm going to try and get some of it off. I'm just going to lay my kitchen paper on the top. Take off some of the fat. And then if necessary, what I'll do is I'll just use the spoon to get some more of that off. This is quite an effective method though of taking up the stock, the fat but not the stock. One last one. I don't want to get rid of it all because it does add some flavour, but I don't want a really thick layer of fat in there. Okay, so there we have it. Here we go. Look at the colour and depth that is. It smells absolutely amazing. Just have a little taste. It tastes really, really good. So I'm going to use this, some of this to make some soup, and the rest I'm going to put in the freezer, and then I'll have stock available whenever I want to make a nice sauce or gravy, so that'll be ready to go. So I hope you found that helpful. You definitely don't get stock like that if you buy it in the shops in a cube or whatever. The flavour is completely different. It's amazing. I shall see you next time when I'm going to make some soup. Alright, see you soon. Bye.